Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in today's video I want to show you with a few images what I actually mean when I say reduce processed foods and eat more whole potassium-rich foods for calmer, less reactive skin. I saw a few questions in the community about how to actually do that, and I think visualizing it is the easiest way to make it clear. Now, before I show you the meals, please do not see this as a strict breakfast, lunch and dinner plan. If you do not eat breakfast, that is completely fine. If you eat 2 meals, that's fine too. And if you want a snack, you can add one. You can also move these foods around however you want. And the point is not the exact order, but the point is to build your day around simple whole foods, keep hidden sodium low, and bring more potassium-rich foods back in. So the goal is really simple. More fresh whole foods, less in sodium, and a lot more potassium in the day. So let's start with the breakfast image. For breakfast, or just your first meal of the day, this could be something as simple as scrambled eggs with cherry tomatoes. And if you use butter for the scrambled eggs, I would use unsalted butter just because the whole point is to keep the sodium low. Otherwise, you're kind of adding it back in without realizing it. And then you can also have something like cucumber on the side and a glass of water to drink. Or alternatively, you could also do plain yogurt with a small banana, or even just the yogurt plain can work well. So as you can see, it does not have to be a complicated breakfast. It is very basic food, but that is exactly why I like it. It is easy to repeat, it does not feel heavy, and you are not starting the day with something that was assembled from a long list of processed ingredients. You are just eating actual food, and that is essentially the whole idea. For lunch, it can be just as simple. One option is boiled chicken with potatoes and cherry tomatoes. Another option is a fish with sweet potatoes and eggplant. And if you want, you can add a glass of water or a simple yogurt dip on the side. Now, if you make a yogurt dip, I would make it fresh, because then you know what's in it. Because with ready-made versions, there can be hidden sodium and sugars, and that is exactly what we are trying to reduce. So the meal is very easy. It is basically just chicken, potatoes and tomatoes, or fish, sweet potatoes and eggplant. It is essentially just real food. I mean, in theory, you can also add rice here, and of course you can alternate. But for this kind of meal, I personally like potatoes and sweet potatoes because they bring much more potassium into the day. So the point is not to fix everything with one perfect food. It is more about making the whole day simpler and easier for your body to handle. And when foods like potatoes, sweet potatoes, tomatoes and eggplant become part of your normal meals, your day starts to look completely different. And then for the last meal, we have dinner, where the same idea applies. One option could be a DIY burger patty made from lamb or beef, with a small piece of feta if you like cheese, plus a boiled potato or a sweet potato. Or a vegetarian option could be eggs with a boiled potato or sweet potato and half an avocado. And again, you can add a glass of water or a simple yogurt dip if you want. Now, this is the kind of food I actually eat. So the meals are built around whole foods, not a bunch of processed pieces. And that is where I think the shift happens. You are not trying to recreate a packaged meal. You are just eating the food itself. And honestly, I think this is where the modern food world became so confusing. Everything is turned into a product, like a bar, a shake, a snack, a sauce, a ready meal, something with a label, a claim, and a long ingredients list. But when you look at these meals, you can actually see what they are. Eggs, potatoes, sweet potatoes, avocado, meat, fish. It is not complicated once you know what to look for. And I think that is why it works so well. The food is simple and your body has less processed stuff to deal with. And then I also included snacks, which are optional. You do not need to snack just because someone chose snack ideas. But if you do want something, keep it simple. Like a small banana, guava, pomelo, watermelon, tomatoes or plain yogurt. That is enough. A snack does not need to be exciting and it does not need to be a recipe. It can just be one simple food. And if you're not hungry, you can skip it. And I also want to mention this because I know you may notice it. I am not showing a lot of green vegetables here. In fact, I did not include any. That is simply because this is not really how I personally eat most of the time. If you like green vegetables, you can of course add them. But I did not want this video to make it look like you need big salads or green vegetables every day for this to work, because you really do not. And the point is not to make the plate look like a wellness plate or Instagram ready meal. The point is to eat simple foods you can actually repeat. And these foods do not need to be organic or expensive either. I personally buy almost all of this from normal street markets. The only thing I usually buy separately is the yogurt, which I buy in 7-Eleven or other convenience stores when I include it. So this is not about creating some perfect organic diet, because that is really not needed. It's about eating real food most of the time and keeping processed foods to a minimum. And this is where the change happens, because if you're coming from a diet with a lot of processed foods, then eating like this is not a small change. You are changing what your body has to deal with every day. And also, you do not have to copy these meals perfectly. Buy what is available where you live and move foods around however your day works. Skip breakfast if you're not hungry and skip snacks if you do not need them. But keep the idea simple. Build your meals around real whole foods. Bring potassium-rich foods back into the day. Keep hidden sodium low and give your body something easier to deal with. That is really what makes a difference. And I hope this video helped you see how simple a whole food day can actually look like. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!